Hello, welcome back to this channel. I'm Mo. I'm a newbie cash stuffer living at over 6,000 feet, and this is the Mountain Budget. Today I'm going to be doing my first cash stuffing after having to take most of my envelopes down to zero. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video that I recently uploaded kind of explaining a big update about some emergency events that happened in my life and having to basically totally refund my emergency fund, because that to me is my biggest priority, having a fully filled out emergency fund. And anyway, I will say that video does deal with some sensitive topics like pet loss and grief. And so if that isn't for you, all you really need to know is that I had an emergency and I had to use up my emergency fund, and I had to take most of my envelopes down to zero in order to refund my emergency fund after said emergency. So we're gonna just get right into it after that whole little tidbit. And the first thing we're gonna do is go into my wallet. Now, I normally have been taking the change from my wallet and putting it into my 100 envelope savings challenge, but because I took everything down to zero, I don't really have any change in bills. I do have a little money left in household, but again, I'm keeping that in there so I can do a Target run, get some necessities. But I do have a lot of coins. So we're gonna go ahead, and it's gonna feel so good to empty all these coins out and put them into the piggy bank, because they have just been making my wallet so thick recently. I mean, it's just, there have been a lot of coins. And it's gonna feel so nice to have a nice and thin wallet. Sorry, there's just so many. All right, I think that's it, but you know, it's a pretty little treasure chest. It's gonna make, you know, our pig is gonna be happily fed today. And oh, I'm sorry, and this isn't really a category of video I see very often, but like, do people make videos of themselves emptying out their piggy banks and counting everything that's in them and like rolling them up and taking them to the bank? Because I kind of want to do that, but I don't know if that's a video people would be interested in watching. I think I would find it soothing. Oh, that feels so good. Oh, wait, let's not zip it up because we actually got to stuff it now. But yeah, let me know if that's a kind of video, and this won't happen for a while because we've still got lots of room left, and I really don't like to empty her until basically I can't stuff another penny down her slot. So wow, that sounded kind of like weirdly inappropriate. Anyway, moving on. All right, wallet. Groceries is getting 75 this week, and it's getting that in a 50, a 20, and a 5. Oh, I guess I should count how much we're giving out this week, or stuffing this week. Sorry about that. Just getting back into the swing of things. I've, you know, just been dealing with a lot of stuff, and so I have not been budgeting the way that I should. Also, I need to clean that. Look at that little soot mark. What is that? I don't even know where that came from. All right, let's get you on. So we've got 50, 100, 150, 200, 50, 300. 2, 4, 6, 8, 100. 2, 4, 6, 8, 200, 2, 4, 6, 8. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 10, 15. Easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that leaves us with 660 for the week, and that I can confirm is correct. All right, now back into it. Sorry for the out of order nonsense. All right, groceries. Who can guess? It's getting 75 this week. And I am doing this cash stuffing a little late. And I am going to try, just as I was before all the nonsense of the past 10 days began, I am going to try and, you know, spend this money wisely so that way any change left over can go into my 100 envelope savings challenge, because I really do want to try and get that filled out within 12 months of starting it. And I started it just a couple of weeks ago. All right. coffee is getting $20. And I might go and treat myself to a coffee today. Just some time at my favorite cozy coffee shop just to make myself feel better and see people and, you know, just feel connected. Tips, I believe, is also getting $20 this week, but it is getting that in the form of a 10, excuse me, a 5 and these 5 ones. All right, spending is getting a 50. Sorry, I'm wearing my PJs and I keep getting caught on my little acrylic thing. Eating out is also getting 50. Household, I think, is not getting anything because it's full for the month. And then miscellaneous isn't getting anything either. Okay. And actually, something that I do need to do during this cash stuffing is there are some envelopes that are kind of no longer relevant because of everything that happened in the last video. And so I might just remove them during this video, but we'll see. I might just also do that off camera so I don't confuse people. All right, now we're going into the giving binder. Philanthropy gets stuffed at the start of every month, so it doesn't get any attention today. Project for Awesome, I believe, is getting $10 today. And we can, oh shoot, where's my pen to update this? Okay, give me a second. Give me 1 second. Found her, yay. Okay. So the Project for Awesome is getting 20, or well, it got 10, and it currently has 20, 40, 50, and 60. Which that checks out. Oh my gosh, these sleeves are kind of like driving me crazy. Okay, hold on. Today is the 17th. $60. All right. Oh my gosh, it's springtime. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. I normally don't get allergies in the mountains, but I don't know, maybe I've lived here long enough that they're starting to happen to me. All right, kindness. Oh, this is interesting because I'm at a negative. And I skipped one of my cash stuffings where I was supposed to take care of this negative. Okay, so it's getting 20. Okay, I'm just gonna give it 10. And I know that's not totally, like, now it's missing $3, but shoot, I kind of don't like doing rounding errors for my giving because I don't like creating that kind of loophole for myself. But I'm just not gonna make things too complicated. I just don't have the mental energy for it. So we're gonna say that I put in 20. Is this right? I'm confusing myself. This is why you shouldn't skip a cash stuffing, because I had already figured this all out for a cash stuffing previously. And then I skipped that cash stuffing because I was just going on little shopping sprees and didn't want to look at my envelopes. Anyway, 20 plus and then 10, even though it should be 13. Shoot. Okay, you know what? I am gonna say 13, and then I'm gonna have to figure out how to reconcile this at some point. I mean, I guess I could put those $3, but then, you know, then we're still in a deficit for giving overall. I was gonna say I could put 3 of the $1 bills from tips in here to reconcile this, but then tips would be down. So, although of all the places, tips is the place I do think I could pull from because I over tip. I'd go over my budget for tipping all day, every day, and I don't really pay attention to it, which I should, but I don't. And so if there's one place within giving where I could pull from and be like, I probably owe myself anyway, it is tips, but I don't want to mess with it. Okay. Bookstore, indie books is getting a 20. And it's got such a good haul. I'm so excited. I think I mentioned this in another video, but I have a friend. So I'm a writer and I'm friends with a lot of writers, and I have a friend whose book is coming out in June. And she's hosting all these book events, and I'm so excited to just buy like 10 to 15 copies of her book, because she did the same for me when my book came out. And I'm really excited to pay it forward, except not even pay it forward, pay it back, but support the indie bookstores that we go to that have her book and stuff like that. I'm really excited to support them and get her to sign all my copies and everything like that. So that's kind of what I'm saving up for right now. All right, so we have $100 in the bank, 50, 70, 190, 210, 220, 225, 226, 227, 228. No, I'm not going to. For a second, I was like, I could just take those $3 and put them into kindness, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. It would be easy. It would be easy, wouldn't it? But I won't do it. I cannot believe it's already April 17th. That's harrowing. I mean, I kind of did lose 10 days of this month to everything that happened, but I just wanted to get so much done this month. I wanted to write a lot, get a lot of work done and other things, prep for my move, all this stuff. And, life just throws you curveballs, and then you end up spending days lying in bed and watching The White Lotus because you don't want to do anything else. Anyway, patronage for local art is getting $20. And we have $100 in the bank, 120, 140, 60, 80, 200, 210, 215. If you've made it this far into the video, leave me a little art-themed emoji and tell me about anything about spring right now that's inspiring you. Like, have you tried to do any art this spring? I bought myself during my shopping excursions, I bought myself this Teach Yourself How to Watercolor set. And so now I feel like I gotta use it to justify it. Was it $215? Yeah, I think it was. So that's what I've got. Or if it's not art, what new hobby are you taking up for the springtime? Because I feel like spring is such a great time to start new hobbies. It's such a time of renewal. I mean, I think any time is a great time to start new hobbies, but spring especially. Mom is fully funded for the year. Father's Day is getting $5. And Father's Day currently has 20, 35, 45, and 50. And I had originally said that I wasn't going to go home for Father's Day, which made me sad because my dad and I usually watch the US Open together. But then I said to myself, well, at least my dad and I will get to watch the Masters together, because that's another golf tournament that we always watch. But the Masters was this past Sunday, and, just because of everything that had happened, sorry that I'm referencing that so much. I'm like, oh, you don't need to go and watch that old video if you don't want to, because it's kind of a bummer. And then I'm sitting 80% of this video being like, hey guys, just a reminder, my cat died. But anyway, but I missed the Masters with my dad, so I actually reached out to my leasing company, because the reason I wasn't going to be able to be with my dad on Father's Day was because that was my move out date, moving from one apartment to the next. And so I reached out with my moving company, and I'm actually gonna move in later than that. I've changed my move out date so that way I can go home and watch the US Open with my dad and be with my dad on Father's Day. Because, if there's one thing that I've kind of taken away from all of everything that's happened, it's just a reminder to be so grateful for the love that you have in your life, and, don't take it for granted, and take every opportunity and advantage you can to, be with the people and the creatures that you love and treat them well and make them feel loved in return. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make it a priority to get home for Father's Day. Okay, Christmas is fully funded for the year. Gifts, this is my father's birthday. That's not getting anything because it's so well funded already. Sibling birthday is gone down to studs, but it's getting a 50. Oh, did I not zero this one out? Must not have zeroed this one out. All right, well that happened on the 13th. And I'll just mark that and then zeroed it out. And then today on the 17th, we'll say we got a 50. Oh, and I also still have a 5 in cash for Cora, but this should be zeroed out. That's funny. So I'll just take that. And actually, this is one of the envelopes that is kind of irrelevant now because Cora, I had this envelope in here as a way of saying, you know, she's coming. What was this saying? Mother's Day. My niece is coming. I was throwing my sister a baby shower, all this stuff. But now my niece is here. And so now kind of any money that I would save for her, that's, you know, that's like for gifts for her is what I'm trying to say. That I can just save up in the sibling gifts category. And obviously Christmas is Christmas and that's already fully funded. So this is now an unnecessary envelope. So we're going to take it out and we're going to reclaim one of these category sheets, which is fun to have back. And then miscellaneous celebration is getting, whoa, really? Okay, well, it's getting 50. Oh, this is gonna be complicated because I didn't account for this when I was making this cash stuffing because I'd forgotten I had all these issues. Well, it's supposed to get a 50, but we're at minus 20, so it really should only be getting a 30. But I know that if I do this, if I take 20, 30 from here, I'm gonna end up with an extra 50, and I'm gonna end up with like 2 categories, one that needs a 20, one that needs a 30 or something like that, that isn't, that won't get its funding. But you know what, we're just gonna go for it and make things like an adventure, and we're gonna find out what's gonna happen because we're just gonna find out. Let's find out what happens. But then this is where I'm like, that's stupid because I don't know, that just feels kind of dumb. Because really I should be spending money, I should be putting money back to the bank, right? That extra, the missing 20 here should be going back to the bank, but I've zeroed everything out. So maybe we just zero it out and just give it what it wants. Like, I don't even know if this makes sense. But it's what we're gonna do because I'm kind of gonna operate under the assumption that everything evened out in the reconciliation, because I really did. I just did most of my reconciliation on a chart on an Excel, and so I'm just gonna say that it all got zeroed out within the reconciliation. Everything got reconciled within the reconciliation. So, and it did, I think. Whatever. I'm such a hot mess. And that's okay. I can have compassion for the mess. Oh, hi, buddy. Welcome. You making yourself known? Yeah. All right, that was our giving binder. Now, oh, he's coming back. Hi. How you doing, sweet boy? You should, you're a good boy. Also, if you hear shuffling happening, he just went to the litter box, and I have one of those automatic litter boxes, and it's cleaning. Oh, are we sitting down? Is that what's happening? Are we just here now? Because I am trying to film. Okay, well, you know what? You do you, my friend. Okay. Now, excuse me. I gotta film. Well, this is gonna be interesting. How am I gonna make this work? Would you be willing to like just shuffle a little bit? Okay. What does that even look like? Oh my, that's okay. Let me see if I can make this work. I'll try and scoot over. I don't know. I'm really babying this other cat because, you know. So I'm kind of trying, like, anytime he wants to be around me, I'm trying to not like push him away or anything like that. I'm trying to acknowledge him and let him be with me. So I apologize if he is taking up the screen for the rest of the video, but we're gonna just work around it because if he wants to be here, he can be here. Okay, so next is, oh, actually I'm in the wrong thing. We're not doing long-term sinking funds just yet. We're going into furniture because we're going to the home binder because we're gonna start trying to pump up the jam, pump up the furniture cost. Oh, now, but here's the thing though, buddy, is that you can't start eating things. You know, sometimes he'll like try and eat all the stuff or bite me. You know, he thinks we're playing. All right, and furniture is getting a 50. As you can see, I zeroed it out. Actually, I don't know if you can see because his head might be in the way. Sorry. 417. Oh, okay. I'll see you later then. Where are you going? Goodness. Oh my gosh. All right, so furniture now, we've got $50. It's gonna go a long way. Can get a whole pillow. No, I don't know. All right, maybe like 1 square foot of wallpaper. Although I guess that's more home decor rather than furniture, but whatever. All right, that was our home binder. Now we're gonna go into vehicle maintenance. Or we're going into the long-term sinking funds. The first one being vehicle maintenance. And it's getting $30. Okay. Happy Place isn't getting anything this month. Emergency, I should just say it's fully funded now, honestly. I'm kind of like, do I even need to have this in here at this point? I mean, I do, but I should put a fully funded. Let me see if I've got a fully funded placeholder. I do. Let's just go ahead and put a fully funded placeholder in there. This is a blank category thing for right now, but if I have to pull from emergency again for any reason, I'm gonna keep this category tracker in here so that way I can keep track of my emergency spending. 1 month ahead, also fully funded, which is so exciting. Really, that does just give me so much relief to have this be fully funded. I'm really proud of myself for making that choice to go ahead and just do that. All right, and then the rest is just overflow. Okay, we're getting close to the end of it. The spending binder, this is the one that like, the travel binder is actually the one that took the biggest hit. But this is the one that kind of feels like it took the biggest hit because so many categories got taken down to studs. You know, my travel binder, I just had a travel envelope that I said basically this money in the bank is no longer for travel, it's for emergency. This binder really got just, you know, totally obliterated, but it's fine. That was the point. All right, clothing is getting $30. I don't even know. I'm gonna take this out because I'm just not sure what my goal is at this point anymore for my clothing budget. Also, the cat is now playing with a toy, so you might hear him knocking some balls around depending on how quickly he loses interest in it. I got that for him just a couple of days ago because I was worried about him feeling lonely or bored without his companion, and he loves it. He loves that thing. And that makes me really happy. I'm glad I found him something that he can, you know, kind of interact with whenever I have to leave him, because I still struggle to leave the apartment because I'm so scared something's gonna happen to him too. But okay, hair and nails is getting 20. Again, I am gonna try and not bring up everything moving forward. Maybe like after this video I'll stop mentioning it so much, but it's obviously just incredibly on my mind right now. And and I just kind of I speak very unfiltered while filming these videos. All right, beauty is not getting anything, RIP, but also that makes so much sense because I just spent so much money on beauty. I don't think I need to buy any more beauty products for basically the entire year, if we're being honest. But I know that I will. Massages / self-care is getting $40. You know, it is going to be kind of cool. Like I started this channel with a lot of these categories already built up and stuffed. And so there is something neat about starting over and kind of getting to show the progress from the very beginning. Okay, 31st birthday. This is another category that's coming out. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned that in this video or if I mentioned it in the other one, but I took 31st birthday down to studs. Basically I was going to buy myself a birthday present, like a nice piece of jewelry or something. The budget for it was $300, but because of my spending and everything this past week, I've taken it down to 0, and I'll just get myself a nice cupcake or something on my birthday, and that's okay. I don't need to get a beautiful present for myself every year. And I'm also taking out the aesthetic dollar spree, and I'm gonna leave I was considering leaving hobbies in here, but you know what? I'm going to take it out just because right now it would feel like an unintentional envelope. You know, I've spent so much money at the aesthetic dollar, and I don't want to, because I don't have a hobby in mind that I'm trying to build up right now. I mean, I guess I could put, you know, $10 in here every week, and then that way if I want to buy an art book, or if I want to, you know, I don't know, just buy these one-off things. But right now it feels like an unintentional category to me, and so I'm just taking it out for now. But if I think it needs to come back, I'll bring it back, and I'll just put this in storage and I can easily bring it back. But for now, I'm removing it. All right, entertainment / recreation is getting, oh my gosh, wait, that's so funny. I had literally budgeted for birthday and hobbies, but I'm gonna commit to taking those out. And so I had budgeted $20 for birthday and $10 for hobbies, and then $20 for entertainment / recreation. So I'm just gonna actually put $50 into recreation, and I'm happy to do that because it is about to be Ren Fair season, and I had quite a bit of money in here, and I was so excited to use it on the Ren Fair. And so this was one of the categories that it made me the saddest to bring down to 0, was because I really wanted to go to the Ren Fair and, you know, buy myself something fun and, you know, support the artisans and stuff there. And I brought it down to 0, and I was like, well, maybe I'm not going to the Renaissance Fair this year, which is, you know, such catastrophization because the Ren Fair season lasts for months. So I have time to rebuild this category. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Winter recreation, this is saving up for ski season. That's not getting anything this week. Kitako is gonna get $30. Oh, actually, and you know what? Again, I'm so sorry for how kind of all over the place this has been, but I had been saying I wanted a tracker for this category. Recreation. So I'm going to go ahead and make that. 417, $50 plus, and then 50. That's nice. I'm happy to have that now. All right, Winter is not getting anything. Kitako is getting 30. Why did I not zero this out? I mean, I did. I took all the money out of it, but I must not have. I don't know. It's so funny. Oh, oops. Wait, no. The zeroing out happened on the 13th. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I have no idea what's going on up there. Ignore that. The important thing is that it has 0 in it right now as of the 13th. And then today, the 17th, it's getting, wait, it's getting 30? Uh-oh. Something's happened. Well, hold on, where's that? Is this the extra 5 that I pulled from? I think this is the extra 5. Okay. Okay, it's gonna get 40 because I am sure the answer is obvious about what happened there. I'm sure it's from me taking that for like kindness category and not doing, I think that's exactly what happened. It's the kindness category, mix up, whatever. But anyway, so Kitako is getting 40, which again, this is why I know that was not the right thing to do. I should have just given kindness what it was supposed to have. And because now it's like, are we actually balanced? I don't know, but it's fine. And oh wait, but I've got change. I've got change. I'm being silly, Mo. You're being so silly. Being so silly. Okay, here are 2 10s. We're gonna put 1 10 there. We're gonna put this 20 into the back to the bank folder. Ah, this is why we have change on hand. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Okay. Sorry, I've made it all ugly now, but that's okay. You know, even though it's called the aesthetic dollar, it doesn't have to be 100% aesthetic. Like, if we make some mistakes, that's fine. The important thing is that we're tracking our money and we're being intentional about how we're spending it. That's what matters. All right, and then holidays is not getting anything, even though that also went down to studs. And New Year's Eve, also down to studs, is getting 20. And we are left with $15, but I'm pretty sure that's a result of, you know, all of my finickiness over in the giving binder. But again, I don't have the mental capacity right now to reconcile that. So we're just gonna take that $15 back to the bank. And it's gonna be all okay. We're taking quite a bit of money back to the bank actually, because this is what's left from the reckoning from a couple of days ago. And there you go. Thank you if you're still here. Again, I do apologize for how often I brought up the, you know, incident of the past week. I am going to try and hold off on being a mega bummer in the future and, you know, just keep things light, keep things chill, keep things cash stuffing. But that's all from me. This has been the Mountain Budget. I'm Mo, and now it's time for me to go. But I really, really, really appreciate you more than you know. Bye.